rolling. We're not going to do any announcements. We started a little bit late. Y'all know the deal. Get your Passover in. Please support the school. Check out our other channels. All right. We're going to go directly. Does anybody got any quick question? If not, we're going to go finish up the brother's topic and real quick. So, not real quick. 2 hours quick, or not even. Hour and 45 minutes. So, does anybody got anything quick? Yeah, go ahead, sis. 1 Peter 4, verse 12.
First Peter chapter 4, verse 12.
For y'all on YouTube, that's where we're on, right? For y'all on YouTube, remember, you can go check out the first part of the class, which was, apparently it was good, brothers and sisters liked it. And it's a topic that resonates now, which is the law and Paul. So go check that out on Facebook. We did the first part on there, yeah. What's your question, sis? So 1 Peter 4 and 12, let's read that.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you.
Well, this goes with that Ecclesiastes 2, sis. Right? It goes exactly with the first verse. When you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. Well, if I come to serve the Lord, then remember when we went over the Matthew 13? Matthew 13, and it told us about the things that were going to pull us, right? It told us about it would be money. It told us about that we would be offended. It told us about it told us about a few different things that will try to pull on us, right? Well, if we apply the antidote of Ecclesiastes 2, if we apply this 1 Peter 2 and 19, that's where we're at? 4 and 12, my bad. If we apply this, it's telling us that we won't think it's strange, right? That's another thing that happens to a lot of brothers and sisters. Like, you come in and you're like, man, the truth. I'm in the truth, right? Everybody's about the truth. And then you bump into somebody that is learning the truth and realize they're not fully endowed with the truth. And then you get shook. You're like, well, I thought everybody here was going to be perfect. You didn't come to prepare yourself the right way. The Most High said, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial. And remember that Matthew 13 tells us how we're going to be tried. Right? Move a little bit to the side out. It tells us how we're going to be tried. Right? By and by, you're going to get offended. Right? By and by, people are going to what? The world is going to pull on you. Right? You're going to lose things. And then some people get shook. They're like, man, what's going on? If this was the truth, why is this happening to me? Right? Those words come directly out of their mouth. If this is the truth, why are these things happening to me? Not aware that now you're getting shook over the fiery trial. Right? Go ahead.
As though some strange thing happened unto you.
As though you didn't read Ecclesiastes 2. As though you didn't read Matthew 13. As though you didn't read that if we suffer with him, we shall reign with him. As though you didn't read what he suffered through. Isaiah 50, was it 53? He was wounded for our transgressions. Yeah. So that's what happens where things start to get, you start to look at things weirdly. You start to look at the truth as though it ain't the truth because the things you go through. Read on.
Verse 13. But rejoice.
But what?
But rejoice.
And when you go through Ecclesiastes 2, because this is a perfect scripture that goes with that chapter, if you go through that Ecclesiastes 2, it tells you what? Be patient when you're brought to a lower state. And we always talk about it's easier said than done, right? But this is the mind state we got to lock ourselves in, rejoicing, right? Having joy in it instead of making it seem like what? The world is ending, this is garbage, my life shouldn't be this, I don't want it to be this way, I'm just a sad victim, right? That's what happens. A lot of times, I mean, I know it still tries to get me. I'm like, no, I'm not the blonde hair in the victim movie, right? I shake myself for that and be like, nah, be patient when you're brought to a low state. Be faithful, right? Rejoice, have joy. So you got to constantly remind yourself the proper way to go about this lifestyle and battle. If not, you'll be the one walking around in the truth that look like you always have duty problems. The sad minstrel, right? You all, shalom, sis, what's up? Nothing, I'm good. Why your face don't look like it's good then? Why it look like you're nauseous, right? And you just walk. This is sad all the time. Or brother, shalom, what's up with you? Nothing. Catching hell for Yahweh Shai. It's all hell. No rejoicing. No happiness. No joy. Right? You leave out those elements of the fruits of the Spirit. Joy, peace, right? And you get shook because of the fiery trial. So Peter's doing what? Reminding us what Sirach will remind us. Will remind us what Paul reminded us. What Yahweh Shai reminded us, right? Go ahead.
But rejoice.
But rejoice.
Inasmuch.
Yahweh, what's up with you? Man, I'm catching hell for the Most High. Woo! High five, brother. Yeah, for Yahweh Shai, let's go. How many of us are doing that? Now, like, get the hell out of my face, brother. Get out of my face with all that. It's got to be a rejoicing too, understanding that down. Look at what the apostles went through, the prophets went through, right? I always remind myself that we are a low version of the prophets. None of us is getting sawed in half, hung upside down, stoned, whooped, spit on, beat. You catching hell with your light bill. You're catching hell with something that you created, and then you're the sad victim. You're the sad puppy that you walk around and be because you don't know how to apply the scriptures. But we're not catching hell for Yahweh Shai most of the time. I regress, right? You got to, right? Because we know that you're still trying to be righteous on whatever level you're on. We're still trying to obtain, right? I'm being facetious with that because when you look at the high level of what the prophets went through, I say, bro, I ain't catching no hell. This is nothing. We ain't getting chased, stoned, hung, beat, killed, right? We ain't being cast into prison, right? So that's what I mean by we're low prophets, right? But rejoice in these moments. Go ahead.
Inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's suffering.
See? As much as you were partakers of his suffering. And a lot of times, you don't equate that with Christ, with the truth, with coming to the Most High. You thought it was going to be all what? Diamonds and pearls. Right? Everybody was going to come in. Everybody's dressed in white. No, he's dressed in red and black. Dripping with pain and suffering. Because he might not know how to process it now. She might not know how to process it now. Right? They haven't came to this level of rejoicing in it. Right? So we just got to be aware so we won't get shook and then come with this whack mind of this is not the truth. No, it literally is what you've been called for. To catch hell. For righteousness' sake. Go there real quick. And I don't want to go off to the too deep, but we'll go right there when he quoted. Go to Acts. Yeah, 14? Go to Acts 14 and 22. And then we'll go back into this Paul and the law thing. But read that.
Acts 14 verse 22.
Right, Acts 14 and 22. Grab it quick. Come on.
Confirming the souls of the disciples.
That's why he's constantly reminding us what?
confirming the souls of the disciples.
Why? Because you get discouraged, right? You go through a battle, fighting and striving against sin, and you're like, damn, this is harder than I thought. So you get discouraged. You're like, damn, man, this is too hard, right? Why? Because what happened? The law came, guilt came, right? The old man's dying. You feel like part of you is leaving because you identify with that part, right? He, she, we, they, right? Those demons. Go ahead.
And exhorting them.
And then what?
Exhorting them.
Exhorting, strong urging, right? We got to constantly strong. That's why we be so turned up, right? We get in these councils. We get the wisdom. We're like, man, go here, the Most High. Why do you think I am like I am right now? I'm tired as hell. But what it is that the word inspires, right? It rejuvenates, right? It rejuvenates us. So I'm not gonna come in here with that tired. I'm tired. But why do you think I get so lit? Because the word reminds me it inspires me. And a lot of us don't date it. You're hype, but I'm not. Boring. We done yet, Doc? I'm not inspired. It's like, what the hell? There's no life in our people. Right? The word's supposed to inspire you. It's supposed to lift you up. It's supposed to show you that you're trash, and then you realize it, like, damn, I am garbage. Rakatayi Howard reminding me that through you, I won't be garbage. And a lot of times, it's not how we take it. Y'all see that? The fiery trial. So we got to exhort brothers and sisters and remind them of that. Go ahead.
To continue in the faith.
See? To continue in the what?
In the faith.
In the faith, in the word, in the wisdom, in the knowledge, in the application, in the doing. Go ahead.
And that we must, through much tribulation.
No. Through much, everything's going to be peaches and cream.
Through much tribulation.
Oh, no, we're not going to catch any trials. There's not going to be no trials of the truth.
Much tribulation.
Right, smooth sailing.
Much tribulation.
Much tribulation, right? We're going to enter into, go ahead.
Enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
That's how we're going to get into the kingdom. That's been my scripture lately. Because there's a reminder. Satan always what? Pokes and prods at every little thing we got going on. But that's part of the trial. You see that, sis? Does that make sense, Precious? Okay, so just, and once again, you know there's so much more on this topic, how to process the tribulation and the trial and the battle. You have anything else on that? Okay. All right. So let's get into finishing up Paul and the law, right? And we left off from Galatians 5. This is a question that the brother Chris had. Chris is coming from the background of. The funny thing is, his church had taught them they was Israelites, right? But they taught them the law was done away with. So he's trying to get that understanding. And we know that a lot of you Israelites, you're scholars and you're way beyond these basics. But this is a refresh, a reminder of Paul locking into the law and that the law is true. So, like I said, if you want to catch that entirety, you can go on Facebook and get that. So we were at Galatians 5. And what chapter is that? We were at Galatians 5, because I want to finish this up. Verse 4. And go ahead and read that. We went to Galatians 2:20. Did we go to Romans 9? 9:31 and 32? Did we go to Romans 10 and 3? Okay, that's where we left off at. And the point, let's reiterate the point of Galatians 5 and 4. Let's read that.
Come on. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
Hamashiach is become of no effect unto you.
Right. So the whole class that we were going over was reminding us that when Paul was talking in Galatians 5 and 1 on down, he wasn't talking about being free from the law, as in not keeping the law. He was talking about being free from the carnality and the things that we boast in, and not being spiritual. Be free from that carnal mind, not be free from the righteousness of the law. Then he comes down and reiterates to us what? Yahweh Shai has brought us the righteousness of the law, and this is what we got to remember. It's not because you put on your fringe you're right, because you did that before and you were wrong in the law. But it's putting on your fringe with the Christ mind, with a Christ-like mind. That's what makes you right. That's what we went over, right? And summing it up. All right, so read verse 4 again.
Come on. Verse 4. Hamashiach is become of no effect
Right.
unto you.
Right?
Whosoever of you are justified by the law.
Whosoever you are justified by the law. So these are the scriptures that we got to get clear, because we went over Paul kept the law. He's a follower of Christ. So now we're getting clarification. It didn't mean you weren't keeping the law. It meant what? That we can't just establish our righteousness by the performance of the outwardness of the law, but both outward and inward, because Christ taught us the inward man, the spiritual man, really keeping the law from a spiritual mind. Y'all get that? Okay, go ahead.
Ye are fallen from grace.
See, because it told us earlier, if the law was all said and done and that's all you needed, then Christ would not have came. You would have perfected the law, and the law would have brought us to this spiritual mind. But it didn't happen, right? Okay, so Yahweh Shai had to come and show us how to what? Being made of a woman, being made under the law, he had to what? Walk in the spirit of the law and show us that it could be accomplished in the correct way. And he did that in many moments. When the woman was brought up on adultery, the law said what? To the men around her, because their lack of understanding of the law and their lack of understanding of application of the law, the first move was to stone her. See? But Yahweh Shai brought the balance of the law. Well, where's mercy? You see that? And that's what he constantly reminded the Pharisees when they came around. Where you're working on the Sabbath. What are you talking about working on the Sabbath? Have you not heard what the priest did on the Sabbath day? Have you not heard what David, how he ate the showbread, right? Have you not heard, or do you not do, when your ox falls in a ditch, how many of you would not take it out? So he was constantly killing the hypocrisy of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, because they weren't working on the inward man, they were just all outwardly, right? And that's why he called them white sepulchres, right? You are what? Coffins. You look good on the outside, but inside you're full of dead bones. See, he was showing them, and Paul took the mantle and he ran with that, right? He ran with that, showing Israel, y'all are still doing the same thing, right? You make your boast in the flesh, but in the spirit, you damn perverts. You're off, you're wrong, you're weird. Go ahead.
For we, through the Spirit,
right?
Wait for the hope of righteousness by faith.
Right. So, what verse are you at?
Come on, verse 6.
Right, verse 6. Okay, so jump from there. Go to Romans 3 and 20. Romans 3 and 20. And you know that we can go in these chapters in their entirety to get the full context of what's being said. But as we see from all the other scriptures that y'all got, we see it all is in lock and step with what Paul always talked about. right? Romans 3:20, what did it say?
Romans chapter 3, verse 20.
Go ahead.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
Why?
For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
But why? Who knows the answer? But by the deeds of the law shall no flesh be justified. Who knows the answer? Who knows the answer? What is scripture? Anyone? Got it?
Hebrews 10,
Hit 10 and what?
10 1 through 18.
There's a scripture straight to the point
Okay.
that tells you. Hebrew, where is it? Who knows it?
3.
Go ahead and read that. Let's see here. Who knows why? Because remember, he's not saying don't keep the law. What is he talking about? What is he reminding us? That if the law was performed in you the correct way, you would have kept the law, and the law would do what? You would have been holy, pure, righteous. But they didn't keep the law, right? We went over that the other day. When you go back to Romans 7, right? We didn't keep the law. So what is he telling us here? Remember, he's not contradicting himself, because when you go to Romans 3:31, he tells us, do we make the law through faith? God forbid, right? Okay, so what is he saying here then? Read that. Where you at?
Hebrews chapter 10.
No, where? You got it? Read it.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 3. But in those sacrifices.
No, that's not it. Why? Why is it? Why is it? It's in it's go to Galatians. It's in Galatians.
Huh.
Galatians what?
Galatians chapter 2, verse 16.
Read that.
Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law,
Why? Read.
but by the faith of Yahweh Shai.
No, y'all not listening. Nobody's listening to me. Let me get it. I didn't write it down because we went over it. It's, hold on. Let me find it. We are in Romans 3, right? Okay, so nobody knows this answer. Read that again.
Romans chapter 3, verse 20.
Go ahead.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
It's 3 and 10. Go to Galatians 3 and 10.
God.
Why is no flesh justified by the law? Why? Read Galatians 3 and 10.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 10.
Go ahead.
For as many as are of the works of the law
Go ahead.
are under the curse.
Right?
For it is written,
What's the curse, y'all? Read.
for it is written, curses everyone that continueth not in all things.
In what?
All things.
What did we have to do?
Continueth not in all things.
We had to do all things of the law. So why is it that you cannot be justified by the law? And it had to be through Christ. Because you literally have to do all the laws to the T. Right? So this is why 31 is important. Verse 31. Because if you don't understand what he's saying, you would make void the law. But what is he showing us here? He's just showing us that it wasn't possible. You couldn't keep the law to its best ability because your mind, your spirit, your thoughts, your actions weren't in the right mind. So that's why you couldn't keep the law to its fullest ability. But do we make void the law? Do we say, you know what, man? I can't keep the law to its fullest ability. This is why I got to commit adultery. This is why I got to kill. This is why I got to murder. This is why I got to lie. This is why I got to eat this pork. No, you say what? Let me strive for perfection then. Let me follow the righteousness of the law that Christ followed. Y'all see this? So this is what he's saying there. That's why all those things before that we went over. If you miss all those scriptures and you just jump here, you're like, see, we don't need to keep the law. You err not knowing the scripture. You err not knowing the brother Paul and his writings in their entirety. Y'all get this?
Come on.
Okay, so the reason why we can't be justified in the law, because how the law was set up, if you break one, you break them all. You see that? So Christ had to come. You got a question on that? Okay, I see your brain working. But do you have any questions on that? No. Okay, all right. So let's jump back. Go back to Galatians. Y'all get that point, right? Okay, I'm gonna ask you as we go on. See if y'all really get that point. Go back to Galatians 5. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
Hamashiach.
So we read 4?
Come.
Okay, let's go to 5 then.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
For we, through the Spirit, wait for the hope of righteousness by faith.
Right. See? You see why I went over Romans 3:31 and Romans 6 verse 15? Because what do they do when they come to Galatians 5? They disannul what he said in Romans 3:31 and in Romans 6 verse 15. They say, see, I only need faith. Right? But he just said, do we make void the law through faith? God forbid. So then I'm reading Galatians 5 wrong if I think that way. Right? If you think he's saying have faith, that's it, then you're not putting this Bible together correctly. What he's saying is, it got to be mingled. You got to believe. Everybody says they believe until action comes into play. Right? Everybody always believes until you got to perform the doing of it. Right? Until you got to perform the actions. Go from there. I didn't put them in here, but let's go there. Go to, what was it, James? Go to James. Yeah. No. Read where we're at again.
Come on. Verse 5.
Let's read where we're at. Let's go along this railroad. Go ahead. Read it again.
For we, through the Spirit, wait for the hope of righteousness by faith.
By what?
By faith.
Right. When they read this, what comes into their mind? Shariah. What comes into the Christian's mind? Tiana. Shariah? You guys got to snap out of it. You got to listen. Listen to what is going on here. Am I talking too fast? Okay, then somebody tell me what's going on. Go ahead, Delvon. What's happening here? What is happening? What's happening here is this. Galatians 5. The reason why he wanted me to go over Galatians 5. Starting from verse 1. When it says the liberty, the Christians use that and say liberty means I literally don't have to follow any laws. When we read that in context, coming from 4 and 29 on down, we find out the liberty meant putting yourself back in bondage of the world. Putting yourself back in bondage of being fake. Not really performing the spirituality of the law. So Paul is coming back and telling us the liberty is being in the spirit of the Most High. You understand that? In verse 2, he says what? Behold, I, Paul, say unto you, that if ye be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. Then we went over this Acts 16 to show Paul wasn't saying don't circumcise because he believed in circumcision by circumcising the brother. Then we went to Romans 2 to show that what he really meant was what? Circumcision, you can get it outwardly, but it's got to be of the heart, of the mind, of the spirit. We're showing every step of the way. Paul is telling us how to be spiritual in the law, not just do the outward things of the flesh. That's what's going on here. And he comes down to the third verse and says, for I testify every man that is circumcised, that he is a debtor to the whole law. If you take only confidence in the outward circumcision, then you don't understand what Christ came to do, was to show us the inward circumcision of the mind, of the heart, of the spirit. Y'all understand that? Am I moving too fast? We all get that, right? Then when you come back in verse 4, Christ has become of no effect. Why? If you are just saying, oh, I need to put on my fringe and I'm righteous, but you're evil in all the ways, then Christ is of no effect. If you're saying all I needed was not to eat the pork sandwich and I'm pure, you literally miss Christ. Yahweh Shai. So he's showing us every step of the way how not to be carnal-minded. He is not showing us how, oh, we don't need to keep the law. That's what he's not doing. And that's what Christianity, when they go to this chapter, they leave out all the other precepts. Paul did circumcise. Paul said keep the law. Paul said have faith but with the law. Paul said have grace but with the law. That's what they miss in 5. Galatians, the 5th chapter. So they use this chapter to say, oh, you don't need to do it. Y'all get that? Okay. Now we come to verse 5. And he says, read what?
For we, through the Spirit, wait for the hope of righteousness by faith.
Right?
For in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, neither circumcision availeth anything,
right?
Nor uncircumcision.
Now, for y'all that's got this whole class yesterday, do I need to go back to Romans 2? No, because he went over and said, what's the point if you circumcise yourself and you're breaking all the other laws? Right? We went over that. All right? For y'all online, y'all got to go get that. Okay? Good. We don't need to reiterate that. We all get that. Okay. Go ahead, read on.
But faith, which worketh by love.
But faith, meaning what? Believing on top of the law. Why do I say on top of the law? Because I'm thinking about what he said in the past in the Spirit of the Most High. So now, when I circumcise myself, when I put on my fringes, it's with true belief and true love, not just being a robot. Sis, why are you cooking the meal? Because that's what they commanded me to do. But why did you do it? I guess. When they say I guess, I want to drag you through the ground and fly you up into the heavens and let you go. I guess. Well, why are you doing it? I guess that's what Kazakia commanded. I don't know. Shit, I don't know why I'm here. I stumbled here and you niggas start telling me something to do. It's a real nonchalant awareness, and now you're in cult mind. What are you here for? I'm here because my husband told me to, and I don't believe any of the things that y'all are saying. I just stumbled in here and found out you crazy niggas. I'm being facetious, but that's how sickening it is. It's like you don't have no awareness of what the gospel is supposed to be putting inside of you. That's literally the robotic mind state. And with brothers too, right? It's the same thing. Why do you do this, bro? Because the law says so, brother. Right? But where's the love in it? Where's the underneath? Faith and love. Why you're doing what you're doing. And then you see the brutality, the bruteness when we deal with each other, because there is no faith and no love in the creases of the law. You see that? So this is what he's showing us. He's not saying don't go get circumcised. Do it now, but with love and faith. Y'all get that? Okay, read on.
You did run well. Who did?
What verse you at?
Verse 7.
Go to Galatians 5 and 6 real quick. I'm sorry. 6 and 15. We're on 5. We're going to go in verse 6 and 15. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 6 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
For in Hamashiach, Yahushua, neither circumcision availeth anything.
Right.
Nor circumcision.
Right.
But a new creature.
You can circumcise all you want, but are you a new creature? You see? That's why Romans 2 is very important. Because he's not saying don't do it. He's saying a Jew is one inwardly. You a Hebrew Israelite in color, your nose is big, your lips are wide, or your nose is wide, your lips are big, right? You got the woolly hair, but inwardly you're a damn heathen. You're a Canaanite. Little Jebusite. He's saying it doesn't avail much until you're what?
New creature.
A new creature. This is what he's reminding us. Right. Go ahead, read on. Does it say that here or is it the other one? It's the other one, right?
The one in Corinthians?
Right. Go there. 1 Corinthians 7 and 18.
7 and 18. God.
Go ahead.
God. If any man called being circumcised,
Right.
let him not become uncircumcised.
Right. So, what are you doing? You're coming, right? You're circumcised. Barakatayah. Let him not be uncircumcised. Read.
Is any called uncircumcision?
Right.
Let him not be circumcised.
Right. Why? Remember, he circumcised in Acts 16. He kept the laws of the Most High. He was circumcised. You see how you can go here and get lost? That's why you got to go all of those scriptures. You know why they want to miss these scriptures for his sake? Because that's where they're going to go.
God.
They're going to go right here and say, see, you don't have to do it. But that's not what he's saying. You see that? So I didn't want to leave these scriptures out and then somebody goes back and takes you and say, see, it says it right here. No, we're not going to leave that out. We're going to talk about what he really meant in context of the totality when Paul spoke. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 19. Circumcision is nothing. And uncircumcision is nothing.
Go ahead.
But the keeping of the commandment.
Wait a minute. I thought you just said we don't have to get circumcised.
But the keeping of the commandment.
Wait a minute. So what's do you see this? What's the commandment? That you're supposed to get circumcised, right? You see how they're confused? That shows you, though, Paul, the way he spoke, though. You can stumble. He literally, in the same verse, said, keep the commandment. But now we know what he meant. Keep it of the inward man.
That's right.
And do it, keep the commandment, but now keep the laws spiritually. The spiritual man has to be present when you're doing these things. Y'all get that?
God.
Okay. To verse 19. Is that verse 19?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions on this so far? Okay. Go down. Read down. Go back to Galatians
5 and 7.
Go ahead.
God, ye did run well.
Go ahead.
And didn't hinder you.
No. Read it again.
Who did hinder you?
Right.
That ye should not obey the truth.
Right. So you come in, you start in the spirit, and then what happens? You start going backwards. So he's reminding them, y'all run well, but who hindered you? Right? Who got you in this carnal, pharisaic mind state to where you put on the fringes, but you forgot the chain? Remember, when you got the word that you was a Hebrew Israelite, you put down pork. You were running in the right way. Well, who stopped you now? Oh, you don't got to put down pride and lust now? Who hindered you? Oh, you don't got to put down doubt? You stopped with the pork and that's it? Who hindered you? Right? Go ahead.
This persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you.
Hey, who's persuading you to do that? Well, what happens is we start learning, it starts being tradition. You replace Sunday for the Shabbat. You replace church for a Hebrew Israelite. You replace your Christian hat for your headdress, for your headband, your turban, right? And you fell in the same mind. And then that's why the truth doesn't do nothing for you. You're back at that same mind you left. You come here, you do everything outwardly, but not inwardly. You're being hindered. Because the Most High is not judging on the outward appearance. He's judging on the inward man. Go ahead.
A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump.
And that's what you don't understand. That little negative inside you will automatically consume you. If you don't work on your pride now, and you don't understand the diagnosis of pride and what it will do, it will lead you into all other sin. But you what? You thought that wasn't necessary to work on come into Christ. You err not knowing the scriptures. Pride is a disease just like what? That pork sandwich. It's the same way. But you got hindered along the way, so you came in and you say, I put my head cover on, I got my fringes on, the end. Nah, brother. Nah, you're being hindered. Read.
Verse 10. I have confidence in you that through the Lord,
right,
that ye will be none otherwise minded.
You see, he said that my confidence is that you don't think like this. That you don't be in this mind. Right? Read.
But he that troubleth you shall bear his judgment.
Right. And the ones that's coming with this, making a show of the outward, they're gonna be judged for that. Right? And it's all about the outward, right? And not reminding you about the inward. They're gonna deal with that. Right? Go ahead.
Whosoever he be.
Read.
And I, brother, if I yet preach circumcision.
Wait a minute. Got you again. Got you again. You see what happens when you don't read the whole chapter? You got everything out of context. He just said he does what? Read it again,
And I, brother, if I yet preach circumcision.
He said, wait, brother, I preach circumcision. Read.
Why do I yet suffer persecution?
Wait a minute. When did you think I was not teaching to not circumcise? Y'all not getting it. At what point? I preach circumcision. You got me all wrong. Paul was so deep, man. You like, what the hell? I told you, you read 2, 3, 4, you're like, what is up with this guy? I did it myself. I was like, this is crazy. Let me read that all again. This is dope. And then you start to get it. It all comes together when you read 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 7. And then you get into 8 chapter, you're like, God, dude, this dude is cold. Because that 8th chapter seals it. When he comes back and says to be carnally minded is death. And he shows you, and you go down and he says, if you yield your members, and you're like, golly. He wasn't even telling me. And that's what Christianity missed. They missed the whole point. So what do? They take little pieces and they lose it. And now they teach people to break the laws and commandments. You can eat whatever, you can do whatever, whatever goes into you. They don't understand the scriptures. Y'all see that? Go ahead, read on.
Then is the offense of the cross cease.
Right, go ahead.
I would they that were even cut off from, I'm sorry, I'm going to read it again. I would they were even cut off which trouble you.
He's like, man, these cats, I wish they would stop. And you see how he said it. I wish they would cut off. The cats that are giving you this mind state, they're leading you in the wrong place. This is what I see. When I'm seeing online, and brothers are insinuating that Paul didn't speak from the Holy Spirit, bro, they're doing people a disservice. They're really, because now you're second questioning. If you're going to question one thing he said, well, let's question everything. When he was speaking in the spirit of HaMashiach. Go ahead.
Verse 13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
Read.
Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh.
That's when you jump to the 8th chapter. He says, watch, go there real quick. 8. He says, not leave the liberty. Because where's the liberty? One word. Where did we get the liberty at? Grace. We got the liberty in the grace. Right? You got the liberty in the grace that you're going to make mistakes, that you're going to mess up. Right? You're free in the spirit, but at the same time, not free to be in the flesh. Not to free. You know what? I'm free. I'm not going to, the law, there's no condemnation. Right? But let's read that. 8 and 1.
Romans chapter 8 verse 1.
Right?
There is therefore no condemnation to them which are in HaMashiach, Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh.
See? There's no condemnation to brothers that don't walk after the flesh. Go ahead.
But after the spirit.
If you in the spirit, there's no condemnation to you. Right? Go ahead.
For the law of the Spirit of life.
But if you walk in the flesh, you are already condemned. You see that? If you walk in the flesh, you're already condemned. Read.
For the law of the Spirit
Right.
of life in Hamashiach Yahushua
Right.
has made me free from the law of sin and death.
See, that's the liberty. It made me free. But he's reminding you in 6, 5, and 11, what? Use not this liberty to come back. Here's my grace ticket, y'all. I can eat whatever I want to because I got grace. You're using it for flesh. Or, that's from a Christian standpoint. Or from an Israelite standpoint. No, brother. You know what? I'm just trying out women to see which one is going to be my woman, but you're just a fornicator in the flesh. See? You didn't really want to deal with these women as your woman. You wanted what? You wanted 36 flavors, 26 flavors, or whatever the hell. You want to taste taste of the rainbow. Right? And you were supposed to what? It's going to tell us. Watch, read on.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For what the law could not do.
Why? Why could the law not do it? Who's catching? Anybody catching any of this? Why? Why, Aaron? What could the law not do and why?
Because the law wasn't purposed to make us, to sanctify us. The law wasn't purposed to cleanse us because there was a remembrance of sin. And the law
You gotta
didn't take
get
that away.
the way you're relating
Okay.
is going to be confusing. You got to bring it down in layman terms. Read it again.
Done. For what the law could not do.
What could the law not do and why? What could the law not do and why?
The law couldn't help us see like we was going over the inward man, the love that we're supposed to be showing towards one another.
What could the law do and why? And why not? Where you at? Right. But you're going to go to Romans. Hold on. Go to Romans 7. What? What? I want to get this real quick. It is Hebrews 7:19.
Con. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 19.
Go ahead.
For the law made nothing perfect.
Stop. Why? You see, that's what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to make you perfect. Right?
Con.
The scriptures tell you that. The law is perfect. It's undefiled. Right? We were supposed to be perfect. Well, what is he coming back and was saying again? He's not saying the law ain't perfect. He's saying the law what?
Made nothing perfect.
It didn't make you perfect. It's not that it wasn't perfect. It didn't make you perfect. Why? So, let me answer the question. What was it supposed to do? Make you perfect. But why did it not make you perfect? What did it do? And why did it do it? Right? Go ahead.
But the bringing in of a better hope did.
Right. So what it was supposed to do was set us in a perfect mind. We were supposed to be in this spiritual mind and serve the Most High from a pure heart, a pure mind. But it didn't. Now we're going to get into that. I don't want to jump ahead. When we get to Esdras, it's going to talk about all that, right? But it was supposed to make us perfect, but it did not. Because we, and I read it earlier, I read it the other day, we're just going to go about it through more scriptures as well, all right? But it didn't get to that point, right? You come in, no matter how many scriptures you write down, no matter how many classes you get, what happens? We still mess up. But you boast of the law, right? I mean, Hebrew Israelite, got to keep the Sabbath, got to keep, but why did it make you perfect? Because it's not mingled with something. What? Where are you at?
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 19.
Right, so read it again.
For the law made nothing perfect, but the bringing in of a better hope did.
Right, but the bringing in of a what?
Better hope did.
A better faith, a better belief, which was who? Yahushua. So it didn't do. So when he says, go back to Galatians, let's reiterate that. We're Galatians where we left off at.
God, Galatians chapter 5 and verse 13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
Right.
Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh.
Read.
But by love serve one another.
Okay, read on.
For all the law is fulfilled.
Okay, go back to Romans. Go back to Romans where we left off.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For what the law could not do.
Right, which is what? It was supposed to make us perfect. Go ahead.
In that it was weak through the flesh.
And that's the answer. It was weak through what?
The flesh.
Why? Because we locked into what?
The flesh.
The flesh. It wasn't that the law wasn't holy, true, just. That we would be a light to the world, a light to the Gentiles, that we be wise, right? When you go through the law, it tells you wisdom directed, wisdom ordering. Right? The Most High, I'm not going to jump ahead. That's what the law would do. But it didn't do that because we were continually carnal minded. Y'all get that? Go ahead.
The Most High sending his own Son.
Right?
In the likeness of sinful flesh.
Go ahead.
And for sin, commanded sin. Condemn sin.
Right?
In the flesh.
Condemn sin in the flesh. So we get that. Yahushua had to come and he showed us of how to really be perfect in the law, in the flesh. Right? Y'all get this? Okay, so I'm going to ask y'all again then. Go back to Galatians.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 14.
Go ahead.
For all the law is fulfilled.
Right.
In one word.
Read.
Even in this.
Read.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So, was he saying that's the only thing we got to keep? No, because we went over the other day, what? Timothy's 1 and 9. He said the laws for what?
The lawless.
The lawless. He's not saying, oh, hey, by the way, you only have to keep 2 laws. Right? He's saying, listen, if you really understand the law and you look at everything through these 2 lenses, you're going to embody all the laws. Right? Whether it be murder, death, killing, joy, if whatever I do, let's pick one that you may not think it's an effect. If you love your neighbor or your brother as yourself, then when I come around you and I'm putting the law in my inward parts, right? Which is the one law. If I just said the one law, I'm going to love my neighbor as myself. Well, when it comes to joy and I'm around you and I'm being a bummer, then I am not embodying the law, love my neighbor as myself. Because iron sharpeneth iron, and I'm not thinking about my brother. I'm like, no, I'm all into me. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Well, damn, you bringing me down now. You see how that one law can literally embody all the laws? Because if I embody that, then I'll be looking at how I'm acting around my people. But it ain't saying, oh, just focus on that and nothing else. See, we do that. We recite it and think, oh yeah, love your neighbor as yourself, but you don't know what that means. You don't know that means that your actions will be accountable every time you're around your people. And therefore, why you don't murder, because that's going to affect my people. Why you don't commit adultery, that affects my brother. Why you don't do this, that affects my kids. They're watching me. My wife is watching me. So you have to focus on the love. Christians never tell you that. They just love. It's like a damn, just like fairy tale. Yeah, L-O-V-E, that's it. You just got to say those words. Love is action. We know that because if you say you love someone and smack the hell out of them, that's not love. I love you, baby. This is why I beat you, choking you. That's not love. But why does Christianity make it seem like that? This love that he's talking about is action. So, yes, it all can be summed up in 2 commandments. Right? Y'all get that? Could y'all explain that? Just like that? Yeah, as you go over it and you go over it and remind yourself everything that is coming out in the totality, then you can understand that there's nothing Paul is leaving out. He's no way and nowhere telling us break the commandments of the Most High. He's telling us be spiritual, be like Christ, embodying the law. Y'all get that? That's how you can sum it up. Read.
Verse 15.
Go ahead.
But if ye bite and devour one another.
Oh, no. Where are you at?
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 15.
Oh, we're back there. Okay. So, if you what?
Bite and devour one another.
If I don't worry about the 2 greatest commandments, and I'm constantly consuming you, and we are consuming each other, jawing and gnawing at each other, right? Not worried about each other. This is one of my marriage scriptures, marriage counseling scriptures. If you're constantly at each other's neck, read.
Take heed that ye.
Watch it, because what's going to happen? Read.
That ye be not consumed one of another.
You're going to gnaw away the love, the unity, the compassion, the mercy, and there will be nothing left. So you got to watch what you're doing, right? And that's what happens when you're carnal-minded. How does that go in context of what he's saying? When you're carnal-minded, in essence, you won't perform the law, the love. You're worried about yourself. I'm in my feelings right now, and I can care less about anybody else. And I'll gnaw at you, I'll destroy you, and then next you know, I look back and I need strength, and then what? You're not there because I chewed away all the things that were strength in you. So he's telling you, if you ride on just the outward, then those things that's inward to give to each other, the love, compassion, mercy, gentleness, the fruits of the Spirit won't be there. Y'all see that? And y'all see that in our actions nowadays, a lot of Hebrew Israelite. It's all whipping. But when it's time for compassion, you're not there. Right? Yes, we know the correction is going to be there. But there's a time for all things. Right? It's a time to what? Cast stones. And it's a time to gather them up. Right? So it's not always time to what? Whip. Right? A soft answer turn for weight wrath. And then there's time to rebuke them sharply when all may fear, right? So all may fear. So this is what we're learning. We're learning the dynamics on how to apply the love of the Most High the proper way, so we won't just be consuming one another and have nothing left. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
This I say then.
Right?
Walk in the Spirit.
See? You see that? So what? You got to lock into the Spirit. What is the Spirit? Being spiritually minded. And then going back to that Romans 8, he says what? Be carnally minded is death. To be fleshly, to be all about you, to be all about the physical, to be all about the outward appearance is death. Right? Go ahead.
Walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Right. And that's when in Romans 7 he tells you about the war. That you got to fight after the inward man. And know that the outward man is wretched.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
So what is that saying? The flesh lusts against the spirit. Come on, snap in here with me, y'all. What does it say, Al? What do it mean?
Oh, that means when your spirit wants to do something,
right,
your flesh is going to be pulling against that.
There you go. That's the war he talked about. I find that a law within me. This is Romans 7. That what good is, evil is also present, right? That he's saying the same thing to the Galatians, the same thing to the Romans, the same thing to the Corinthians. He just reworded it in certain instances, but the same point still stands. Not to be carnal-minded, right? So this is what he's telling them. Go ahead.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
See, there's always a battle. You see how his whole point from verse 1 wasn't to be liberal in the flesh and to do whatever the flesh says. That's what Christianity does. Right? See, liberal, you're free. But you ain't read down what he was saying. He wasn't saying it's about the flesh, do whatever you like, do whatever you feel. Read, come on.
And the spirit against the flesh.
See, there's a war going on. There's a war happening.
That's right.
That's why you're in here. You get the scriptures, they're in your face, and they what? They cut you, they get to your spirit, they get to your core. Some of you are brought to life, but the hypocrite is offended, right? At the law. The hypocrite is offended at the law, but the righteous are what? You shine brighter and brighter. Everybody else is like, why do you have to say it? You missed the whole damn point. You missed the whole point. Because it pierced so hard into you, you're like, why do you have to say it like that? Why you could use a different word? I could use nice word, soft word, whatever word. The word is going to cut if you're doing those wicked things. Right? So a lot of times it what? It cuts to your marrow, but for a good reason. To the marrow, to the white meat, right? Go ahead.
And these are contrary one to another.
See, what we're talking about. Forget how he brought it out. What's the point? The flesh is contrary to the spirit, and when you lock into a carnal mind, that's death. What's a carnal mind? A mind that tells you it has to be your way, what you like, what you feel, and it's not based in the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. That's what a carnal mind is, right? We keep going back to that Romans 8. If you're carnally minded, it's death, right? What is the carnal mind? What do you like carnally? What does the flesh tell you? Eat all what you want. Don't have any control. Poke anything you want. Don't have any control. Look at anything you want. Don't have any control. But while you're doing all this, what is it doing to your spirit? It's killing you. That's the war. Y'all get this? And if you're not a warrior, that's too much control. Yeah, but the same things you're yielding your members to, you become a servant to. I'm quoting Romans 8. The same thing you yield your members to, you'll be a servant to. So now you're a slave to your what? Stomach. You're a slave to your loins. You're a slave to what? Social media. But what you're not a slave to is the spirit. You can't yield your members to these things. There's a war going on. That's what he's saying here. What else is he telling us? You see why Christianity doesn't change. Why you can sit in here all you want and it won't change you until you learn this concept. That except you be born again, you cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right? Except you put out the old leaven and be the new lump and be a new creature, you cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High. That's the point. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
So that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit.
See, that ye cannot do the things that ye would. What do you want to do? Well, we know the inward man is crying out, man, I want to be free. But why you can't do that? Because who's louder? The carnal-minded person. Right? He or she got more age and more repetition than the spiritual man. The spiritual man is 2 or 3 years old. The carnal man is 20, 30 years old. It's a baby to a grown-up. So you got to get that spiritual man buff quick. Mature quick. If not, what happens? The carnal-minded woman yells down the spiritual-minded woman and tells her what? Quit. You can't do it. It's too much. What? You don't need this. This ain't the truth. This ain't the Most High. Y'all see that? But are you aware there's a war? Or it's just a good ceremony? It's a good preaching. See, a lot of people don't remember. It goes concerning the fiery trial. The scripture you asked the question on. A lot of people don't understand it's a trial, it's a battle, it's a war. You're like, no, I just see your mouth, brother. You're the war. Your damn mouth. That's how they look at the prophet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Read your Bible. That's how they look at the prophets. Like, bro, until you start talking, that's when the problems came. Right? If you shut the hell up, there won't be no problems. I can go along and do what the hell I want to do. But you said this, put this in my mind, messing with my conscience now.
Right. You made us get the straw. You made us get the bricks with no straw.
Right. You made us do this. Moses, you brought this on us. And that's how it is all the way through. But when you realize it's a spiritual battle, that you alone are in this battle, like Jacob fought with the angel, then you realize that you got to get the proper tools and arm yourself. And that's what Satan doesn't want you to do. Satan wants you to keep giving into the flesh. Christianity wants us to keep doing the things of the flesh. Because it's not based on the commandments, the laws, and righteousness. Read on, come on.
Verse 18.
But
if you be led of the Spirit.
But if you be led of the Spirit, go ahead.
You are not under the law.
Why? We started out with this in the other class. Because when you know, and it's in you not to eat pork, do I got to remind you to eat pork? When you know it's not right to be a whoremonger and you're not waking up and have to put on glasses, at first you're like, man, everything catches you. Whoa, that's cold. Damn, that's cold. But then when you gain control, do you need to be checked and reminded? Hey, your eyes are everywhere. That's going to get you in a lot of trouble. Right? I know I'm tapping. But y'all understand, right? But when you know and you can control, nobody needs to give you the Bible verse to get it. Right? Just like the pork. That's what it's saying. When we in the Spirit, you're already doing the things of the law. Y'all get this? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest.
Now he tells us. Now, do we get this part or do I got to go down all the way? Chris, do you understand so far? Do I got to go all the way through or do you know the rest of this? You know the rest. Do y'all want me to finish it up or do y'all know the rest?
Let's finish it up.
Let's finish it up? Okay, go ahead. Finish it. Read.
Which are these?
Right, so we know. He's reminding us. How do you know when you're in the Spirit? How do you know when you're in the flesh? Well, let's analyze. Like that's why the scripture says if you judge yourself, you judge of no man. You got the Bible like me. If you're in this mode, just go back and look. What's a carnal-minded person? This is how you're going to think. Read.
Now the works of the flesh are manifest.
Go ahead.
Which are these.
Read.
Adultery.
What?
Adultery.
So if you're in that adulterous mind state, and you texting guys down the low, sitting with other cats, talking to this person, this man, if you're a man out and you talking to sisters that got husbands, right? And you running around just trying to taste the rainbow, right? That spirit of adultery is on you. Don't deceive yourself. It's on you. And you're carnal-minded. Why are you deceiving yourself? Right? And that's the problem. A lot of us, deceive ourselves instead of saying, no, I'm off. I got demons on me. And it's because I'm constantly entertaining things that keeps me in the mind state to entertain the flesh. That's the key. You're like, okay, because now I know I'm carnal minded, I ain't nothing, I'm garbage and I'm out of the spirit. Well, what now? Well, what now is stop entertaining the things that keep you in the flesh. So what do you mean? I got to read the Bible all day? Maybe I do. Maybe you do. So when do I get a break? You don't need a break. You got demons on you. How? When they're floating in the room and vomiting, bummy, right? Do they need a break? You know what, man? Let's step out, man. She needs a break. No. Go get the holy water, the Bible, and cast out those damn demons, right? But you see how our logic is? You see how that is so logical and easy to be understood? But when you got demons on you, you're like, so you just want me to study all day? You need that. You need to study all day. If you what? You ain't got no control in you, and you're sleeping and entertaining and dealing with all these spirits. I mean, don't judge yourself. Nobody needs to tell you no, because it starts corrupting you and your lifestyle and your family and your household, right? We talk about adultery. What else?
Fornication.
See, same thing, right? What else?
Uncleanliness.
Right, you're just an unclean spirit to where you're looking on things and you're diving into things. Now you're looking at weird stuff, animal sex, and you're like, well, I'm just trying to fix. No, you got a defiled mind, and it starts. It's funny. It's funny, and I know us that look at it like that's insane. You might not be like that, but there be people that got heavy spirits on them, and they walk this road all the way to that point. We're trying to stop you from walking that road. So it takes in a high level of awareness of what you're doing, instead of looking at, oh, you're trying to control me. The scriptures is telling you, stay away from these things. What's up?
I met a brother in MacArthur. He had a real sex addiction. Like, he went from one girl to threesomes with two girls.
Right.
To threesomes with him and a guy and a girl. To threesomes with him and two dudes. Right? And then his addiction was like, he had to masturbate at least 7 to 8 times a day.
And what we've been saying is, this is not one person. This is a demon that's in the world. Because Esau puts that pornography out there. So everything is geared towards the flesh. We get that, right? Okay, go ahead and finish.
Lasciviousness.
Right, and that's the deep lust. Remember, I take a picture of going up the theme, then go back, take pictures of girls, and then sell those pictures on their Facebook, and you got a real strong lust desire where it's like food. You gotta have it like food. And if that urge, that itch is not scratched, you feel like something's gonna be wrong with you. Right? That's that lasciviousness. It's a deep, strong lust. Strong sexual desire. That's what lasciviousness is. Go ahead.
With idolatry.
But remember, what is the point of this? We were supposed to be free, but not free in this. And that's what Christianity teaches us. Oh, you're free. No rules. Right? If you tell me I don't got to keep the commandments, then why would I have to restrain and control myself from desires that are inordinate? I don't learn control. I learn what? I learn how to yield my members to anything I want to. Right? What?
So the same thing that they try to tell you that you're free in,
right,
is the same thing that keeps you from the kingdom of the Most High.
Right.
Like, okay, like 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. These things those things that show, it's a whole list that shows you what you won't get into the kingdom of the Most High.
Right.
But Christianity tells you, as long as you pray, bless it in the name of Jesus.
Right.
And as long as you pray before you do it,
right,
you're fine.
Right.
On your deathbed, accept Him as your Lord and Savior. So
and then you're good all the way, right?
Yeah, you live this whole life of pedophilia, right, until your deathbed.
But right when they walk you into the gas chamber, as long as you say, I believe
Good, you say it. All
that
forgiven.
that is not what Christ said when he said, "You're going to see me in the kingdom." He was defiled on the cross, but everybody got to stand before the face of the Most High. We misconstrued that. Everybody just gets in. That's contradictory to everything written. Right? Go ahead.
Witchcraft,
Right?
hatred,
Right?
variance.
See, wait a minute. Now we start talking about those things that are character defects. Witchcraft, we know that's, right? Taboo. We know, I'm not a witch, right? But what about variance?
Hatred.
You know, what about variance? Y'all know what variance is? See, these are the things that you're like, so I'm off because I'm like this? Yes. Like you, watch, look up the definition of variance.
That's that broke. Like, you just want to be different. You just want to be different just for the sake of, like, you just want to be opposite, contrary to everybody else. Yeah, brothers want to have pizza. Nah, man, I ain't eating that pizza. That pizza's whack, man. You just being negative. You like the cancer amongst the body.
Negative Nancy. Negative Nancy. Negative Nancy. It says the fact or quality of being different. Well, I gotta be like y'all, so I'm losing my individualism. You see where that mind come from? When literally we all lost our individualism to be a clone of Christ. like people don't get that. Y'all don't understand that. Like they attribute that to what cult? Like you're a clone, yes, a clone of what Christ laid down. So we are automatically going to be in the same mind, same judgment, walk the same, talk the same, act the same. That's what the whole nation is going to be, a clone of Christ. But what happens is you start to resent that, and in this old persona, you want to hold fast to that, right? Just think about it. How many of you women like Thundercat nails to where they're flamboyant, the long ones? Huh? Where you talking like this and you can't grab them? How many of y'all like that? You like that in the world. But now you come to the truth and you read modest apparel, they gotta be cut down to all the way. You're like, okay, no more law. How many of y'all love those? Those eyebrows, the fake ones. Like, I like when I got purdied up. Right? How many of y'all love the fake weaves that come off? Like, they're really walking out models, like fake ass garage hair, you know what I mean? All the way down to the, and then they're like, look, this is me. But how many of y'all like it? You liked it in the world, but now that whole persona has to go. The Most High said, no, you were supposed to be modest, meek, humble, right? And you're like, I want to be different though. It don't make no sense. You're at variance, right? And that's what is not understood when you come to serve the Lord, because they don't really know these scriptures. So now you start to lash out at men and women. You're trying to change me. You're trying to take something from me. Right? Variance, difference, divergent, inconsistent. Inconsistent. But little did you know, being inconsistent is fleshly. You thought it was cool, there's no judgment there. God is not going to judge me for being different. Bruh, you were supposed to lock into the Spirit of the Most High in Christ in His way. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Right? So we all start to put on the persona of the Mashiach, right? It says difference, variation, right. So, y'all get that. What else? Read on.
I had a different.
No, read on.
Idolatry.
Idolatry.
Witchcraft.
Right. You're still what? You're still putting things up before the Father. Right? You still want to put up movie stars and TV, whatever it is, above the Father. Idolatry. What else?
Hatred.
There you go. That's a big one, right? You still have a lingering disgust for your people, right? For somebody that did something wrong to you, right? It's a lingering. I don't hate them. I just don't like them. Come on, y'all. Come on. That's hate, right? Go ahead.
Emulations.
Right? What is, hold on, emulation.
Con.
Check this out. Effort to match or surpass. You still got that what? Inordinate coveting. Right? The rivalry. It's not righteous like covet the best gifts. It's like, no, I gotta outshow this. You know what I mean? Or you know what? The brother, he took the test. I'm not gonna take the test from the Spirit of the Most High. I'm gonna, okay, I can't let him become a soldier before me. I do not like him. Let me knock this test out. Right? That's inordinate. All those character defects is gonna be seen. Right? The fake priest is gonna be seen. Right? It says, effort to match or surpass a person or achievement, typically by imitating. That's very well. How many of us knew that that was against the Spirit? You see how all these things we adopted from the world, and you didn't know till you got to the truth, and you looked up a definition that, damn, that mind state in me is warped, wicked, and wrong. See, go ahead, Rion.
Con. Wrath. Strife.
Wrath, you got those just angry cats. You got a lot of them. Like, don't touch me, don't get around me. I'm about to lose it on you. Bro, why are you so damn angry? Because, bro, you know what, I hate this. I hate white. And it's like, bro, but we weren't supposed to move around with the wrath. It says being angry and sin not. But you got wrathful people that just want to what? Waiting for someone to step that line to what? Plug them. Right? Go ahead.
Sedition.
Right. Oh, what about that? Sedition. Sedition. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel. Why don't we want you to hang around with the new sisters? Because you always got the one that is rebellious. Right? So if you ask me, like the sister Zelda, she's like, well, I want to do this with this sister. I'm like, no. And I'm not saying the sister that she asks about is rebellious. What I'm saying is that, no, she's not going to be able to give you what you need, sis. Right? Not right now. Right? But there are sisters that are what? Rebellious. Right? There are brothers like, hey, don't let him give him a ride because he's still a rebel. He's still insubordinate. Right? He still will do something that's weird and then mess up the conscience of the new brother, the new sister. And she will what? Attribute that to everybody. You see that? So that's our job, to take the oversight of the flock. Oh no, don't leave them up together. No. Keep her alone. Conduct or rather keep her with people that can help her, right? Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of the state of the monarch, right? So how many of us thought that was being out of the Spirit? You thought what? My husband told me he likes me being a rebel. He didn't mean that way, y'all. Alright? He just meant when y'all wrestling. You thought it meant all the time to be rebellious was cool. But how many of us like that, man? Brother be like, man, I like me a little, she got a little bit of, right? There's a spookiness here, y'all. Straight up spookiness, right? I like that rebel. And then until you get her to be your rib and she's there rebelling against everything, you're like, damn, you need to change. You need to be in the Spirit. That's what you chose. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Heresies.
We know what that is. Straight out heresy against the doctrine, against the word. Right? That's carnal minded. You thought carnal minded was just what? Not wearing your fringes and not keeping the Sabbath. You wish it was that. No, it's these mind states. Go ahead.
Envy. Murders.
Right, envy. You got somebody that always looking at somebody and envying them. I don't like her hair. They teach the black woman that nowadays. Look at her bag. Ugh. Look at her bag. Like, who does this think she is? Look at her hair. Like, why her makeup like that? Right? And then you talk about the men, they the same way. Little fag boys. Who this nigga think he is? Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like that, right? It's a spirit of envy. And little did you know what? The little gay boy N-word was wrong. We didn't think nothing was wrong. You thought you was what? You know what? Here's the words. That's just how I am. You want me to start all the black lingo? That's just what type of person I am. It's irritating, man. No, you're dumb as hell. See, I'm the type of person. Me personally. Like, what do you mean, me personally? It's not even in the spirit of the Most High. The Most High said to run from that spirit. Right? Read on.
Murderers.
We know what that is. Read.
Drunkenness.
Right? Oh, what about the Israelite drunks? You know it's okay to drink. So you what? Oh, we had a pig. Bro, he left the school because he wasn't messing with us. It came to drinking and women. And tell him, it was like they were coming up to him at the car talking about, won't you be more like them? Serious. The Most High is like, okay, you won't listen to the brothers around you. I'm going to have to send strangers in the spirit of the Most High to tell you, you're off. And it wasn't just one interaction. I'm talking about, tell him, how many? A lot. Many witnesses. Like, bro, you too much. Won't you be like them? Do you see why? Because you got cats that want to be drunks and whoremongers in Israel and then say that's an Israelite. The Most High said drink in moderation. And if you're an Israelite, bro, if you drinking, day drinking, there's a problem. Any day drinkers, you got a damn problem. It's too much work to do. Only day drinkers is these cats sitting on their damn couch. But a real brother, real priest, cannot be day drinking. Because if you're drinking, right after work, you come to class, you drunk in class. A lot of Israelites be drunks on the auspices of what? It's okay to drink. That's a BS. That's a lie. The Most High don't want us to be that. Go ahead.
Revelings.
Revelings. What is that? Revelings. I know what it is, but I want to get the definition. And then Google got all that. Revelings. We should have asked ChatGPT. We'll probably give us a better. Revelings. Anybody? My thing is moving slow.
Reveling.
What you got? Read it loud.
Reveling. Feasting with noisy merriment.
So all you about is what? Party and bull. Party and bull. Yeah. I want to party all the time. You don't feel free unless you what? You have it, you drunk and you what? Party. Right. Once again, why? Because you guys are squares.
Also serious.
You guys so vanilla. And you what? You don't want it, there's too much control. Right? And that's why our feasts are boring, because you can't get drunk and have sex with the next person you meet in the... Y'all know what we did. Come on, y'all. We were animals. Right? You pop up in the club, you mix this drink, that drink, right? You know what we did. Come on, let's just be real about this. But you come in and you kind of miss the old man, the old woman, right? Why do you think I stopped drinking? Because I realized I was only drinking to have fun in a place that I didn't need to be at. Then I realized, wait, you don't need a drink to have fun. You can actually enjoy the brothers and sisters around you in conversation without passing out. See? That's where I stopped. I realized I wasn't even drinking for nothing. Y'all see this? That's me. You know what I mean? You can still drink all you want. I'm just saying that this is where we got to look at ourselves, that we love the old way so much. A lot of these things, you get angry at the truth for pulling them out of you. Y'all know that, right? So you lash out. You start pointing at man. Because we're the ones that, we all is in front of you. So you got to what? You're doing this to me. You doing this. No, we ain't doing this. The Most High is doing it. He called you from the foundation of the earth. Right? Go ahead, read.
And such.
No, the definition?
Feasting with noisy merriment.
Right.
Carousing.
Right. So, what is it again? What's the word?
Reveling.
Reveling is like partying. That revel. Right? Go ahead. Read on.
Done. And such like. Of the which I tell you before.
Right.
As I have also told you in time past.
Right, because he told us in Corinthians, he told us in Timothy's about all these things that were of the flesh. He told us in Romans. Go ahead, read on.
That they which do such things
read.
Shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
There you go. And guess what? All these things, in another class we can go over, point for point is in the law. Point for point is written down in the Torah. Right? It tells you if you get a son that's disobedient and a drunk, you will bring him out and stone him. It tells you about the rebel spirit. It goes in the law. It tells you about these things. Not being drunkard. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 22. But the fruits of the Spirit.
But the fruits of the Spirit, go ahead.
Is love.
Read.
Joy.
Read.
Peace.
Wait. What's the second one?
Joy.
Wait, when I got the Spirit of the Lord around me, I'm on what?
Joy.
Like, how many of y'all can cross that out on your list? When's the last time you've been joyful? Every day, Every day,
There's some points where I might get a little low, but it's the Spirit that's with me.
There you go.
There we go.
Right? That is the optimistic spirit we gotta have. We already told you about that old pessimistic spirit. That's a bad person. Yes. Look up the definition of pessimistic. Oh, y'all going there for real? I wasn't saying. What? We did it. Yeah.
We talked about it in class because a couple of sisters admitted that's their first perspective when they come into any interaction.
Yeah.
Whether it be with a brother or a sister, they're always negative. That's their first response.
Right. Real quick, run through.
Okay. It says tending to see the worst aspect of things or believe.
Right there. I'm sorry. To the pure, all things are pure, but him that is defiled, nothing is pure. So every interaction, what are we doing? Oh, we're going to get together with the sisters and do something, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Oh, what about this? I never liked that either. Right? That negative ass pessimistic spirit, that's why you get disease, you got endometriosis, you got your gallbladder pulled out, you can't lose weight, right? You can't control your thoughts. You're depressed. With anxiety, right? You got all of it. Because the scriptures tell us, the flesh, that carnal flesh, weighs down on you, and it will crush you. It will crush you. That's why. Look at how he got Kanye, right? He had to snap into the spirit of Yeshua quick. They lied to me. I don't got anxiety. You better, because why? He was losing it for a second, wasn't he? Right? And how many more actors and rappers and movie stars that anxiety crushes them? So where they damn just on pills all the time. You gotta watch these spirits. So read on. The spirit, joy. I like how you brought that out, Ron. We all get low. And I'm not, hopefully y'all understand, I'm not saying nobody's walking around ditzy and all the time, but we're also not walking around sad-ass victims all day. Huh? Molly Singer, you're a victim, right? Huh? No victims in here. We're all victims. Oppression maketh a wise man mad. Right? But not loony. Right? What?
Because it goes to what with James, we're joyful in tribulation.
Right.
Meaning we have the understanding on what we're going through, and that gives us that comfort.
Right.
We ain't gotta be depressed and sad on what we're going through.
Right.
We understand what got us there, or we understand what we're going to be gaining from that.
Right. It goes back to this question the sister put earlier.
Yeah.
Think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which concerns you. Right? Which shall try you. Right? We know what's going to happen. What's that?
When you look at the apostles, when they started to get tried for teaching the word,
Right.
they got excited about it because they said, they seen, oh, okay, we're suffering like the Hawashah.
Right. They took joy in it, right?
They took joy in their persecution.
Knowing that if we suffer with him, we shall reign with him, right?
Facts.
The joy. Why am I pointing that out? Why am I pointing out the joy? Because, sisters, brothers, if you embody the lifestyle and you want, and you understand what you're going through, it'd be less down and more optimism and faith and reverence to what you're going through. It'd be more of that. That's why I'm pointing out the joy. All right, go ahead.
Peace.
What?
Peace.
A confused mind.
Peace.
I'm always erratic, unstable in my thoughts.
Peace.
I'm double-minded in all my ways.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. Shalom, right? Go ahead.
Long suffering.
What?
Long suffering.
Well, I don't want to suffer long anybody. Because, why? I'm the type of person. Right? I don't want to suffer long nobody. Because I'm the type of person that don't do that. Right? I don't deal with people. So I'm not going to suffer long for you. And I'm not going to mess with your sad-ass attitude or your wicked-ass face. It's like, no, we got to suffer through that. And teach you and show you and walk you through it. Right? Show you the proper way. Go ahead.
Gentleness.
Right? There is a gentleness. Am I kind? Am I gentle?
God.
Is it there? Do I know how to apply gentle touch in areas? Right? Or is it all what?
Brutish.
Is it all brutish?
Harsh. Minding your own home.
Right. Husbands,
God.
women, right? We always bring out about the women, to be gentle. You can move around slamming doors and cabinets, but the men can come through what? Dark as hell too. He come through, walk through the house, and nobody want to deal with him. Right? Because he what? He don't want to be bothered, and when he don't want to be bothered, just leave him the hell alone.
God.
So we got to watch that spirit on the men. Go ahead.
Goodness.
Go ahead.
Faith.
Go ahead.
Meekness.
Read.
Temperance.
Uh-huh.
Against such,
Right.
there is no law.
So you see that? Why is there no law? Because you're already performing the law.
God.
Y'all get this?
God.
Okay, read on.
And they that are Hamashiach
Right?
have crucified the flesh.
They what?
Crucified the flesh.
There you go. So what is supposed to be dying daily?
The flesh.
You're supposed to crucify the flesh. Who's got to die daily?
The flesh.
All those things before? Is it in us? Yes.
God.
And are we going through the checklist daily and taking that blade and chipping off the doubt, the pride, the envy, right? The negative, the murderous mind state, the reveling mind state, the lustful mind state. If not, it's all going to be there when Yahweh Shai come back. He's going to be like, you didn't even work on yourself. It's all still there. But if you're chipping away at it, by the time he comes, you at least going to be able to say, look at Yahweh, look. I got rid of a lot of this. But I fell short. Go ahead.
With the affections and lust.
See, with the what?
Affections.
See, you have affections to these things. You have a desire to them. Why? Because your daily affirmations is to be what? I'm just a pessimistic person. I don't know. Nobody's gonna, even right now when you're telling me, I'm just shaking my head and I don't, no. Right? Like you keep telling yourself that, and then you will be that. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. If we live in the Spirit,
Right?
let us also walk in the Spirit.
So, what do we have? Faith and we have works. If we live in the Spirit, then we're going to do what? We're going to walk in the Spirit. Right? We're going to walk in the law. And guess what? You're no longer under the law because you are the law. Right? Like Yahweh Shai. He didn't have to go around and be reminded what was the law because he was walking the law. It was in him. What?
That word affection, it says, or, I'm just the second precept of it. It says, or a tender attachment or fondness. So when you're looking at the list of the things that pertain to the flesh, you have an attachment to it, or you have a fondness of it.
We have a fondness.
Yeah, you like the outcome of what happens when you do get high. You like that. You're waiting on that. You're addicted to that feeling, and you connected it.
Right.
So that's what that attachment is. You're like, I'm fond of it.
Right.
I think I'm smarter when I'm high. I think I'm on point when I'm feeling like this. That's what God had say.
Right.
I'm more focused. I'm more driven when I'm high as hell. You know what I mean? I'm in my right mind.
Right.
They identify. Another problem is that they identify with those things. That anger. That's just the real me coming out. I didn't want to say anything to you before, but I'm gonna talk to you like this now because that anger. That's not anger. That's just how I really feel towards you. That hatred. There's no. That's not a hatred word. I just held back.
Yeah.
Everybody feels the same
Now
way.
you got to get the real me.
Yeah, this is what I've been wanting to bring out since the time began.
And that's how a lot of people are. Like the pedophiles. They've been sitting there thinking that the whole time. But then they acted on these things.
Because they were attached to it and they liked
The rapists.
They liked the way it felt. That's
The adulterers.
the sensation.
Yeah. It's like I've been waiting for a move.
Yeah.
When you said you stepped aside, I stood up from behind. Talking about what's your name, what's your sign. Right?
Yeah. And it's that endorphin that you feel, that euphoria, that exact moment. That's what you're addicted to.
Right.
And that addiction causes your downfall.
Right.
So whether it be, okay, I like sex. Sex ain't hurt nobody. So you catch what? Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, and you die.
Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea. All that. One package, one round.
Right. All that addiction. Right, that addiction. Or you like food, but you consume too much. Now you got cankles. Now you can't walk.
Cankles, gout,
body,
knees hurt,
all of that.
breast stink,
Yeah,
butt stink.
You can't fit through the door. You got to walk around with the oxygen.
Right.
All of that because
But
you can't breathe right.
you're not messing with nobody, so you think it's okay.
Because you have an attachment to it.
Right.
You're justifying it as nobody's hurting, nobody's getting hurt.
And that's what the world teaches us.
That's what Christianity will teach.
That's what Christianity teaches, right? You're not hurting nobody. Read on.
Verse 26. Let us not be desirous of vain glory.
Right. The vain glory is what? You glorifying in the things of the flesh.
That's useless.
That's useless. Go ahead.
Provoking one another.
Right?
Envying one another.
See? You're going back to that. Provoking one another. Meaning what? I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. I'm poking at you. Right? Because I want to get a negative reaction out of you. Go ahead. And then envying one another.
Done.
Right? Was that it?
That's the end of the chapter.
That's it? Right? So let's go from there. Y'all got time or no?
Time.
That wasn't a lot of cons. That wasn't a lot of cons. I'm not convinced, y'all. Let's go from there. Go to Daniel 7 and 10. So let's finish out this point on the law. We started with Christ followed the law. We went into Paul kept the law, right? Then we went into the Galatians 5 because that's what he wanted, the breakdown of that. Now, but let's top it off with other things other ways we go through the Bible and realize that the law can never be done away with, right? Let's go there. Go to Daniel 7 and 10, Revelation 20 and 12, 2nd Ezra 6. All right, we're going to get them. I'm going to go through them quick and not edify much, but we're going to get the point out. Read that.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 10.
Go ahead.
It reads, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him.
Go ahead.
Thousands and thousands ministered unto him.
This is future prophecy. All the kingdoms and earths are going to be given to the Most High, Bahasham Yahushua, in the name of Yahushua.
God.
Right? Go ahead.
Thousands ministered unto him.
Go ahead.
And 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him.
Right? Now, remember, he's seen future prophecy. Right? Go ahead.
The judgment was set.
Right?
And the books were opened.
So there's going to be books that are open. Right? These books that are open, one is your works, the other is the Bible. One is your works, the other is the Bible. So we're going to be judged by our works. What are we going to be judged out of? The law. You're going to be judged out of the law. Or else would you judge by? The Most High has a structure when he's going to judge us out of. Revelation 20 and 12.
God, Revelation chapter 20, verse 12.
2nd Ezra 6 and 20. Go ahead.
And I saw the dead, small and great,
Right.
stand before the Most High.
Read.
And the books were opened.
There again. Daniel said it. John said it. The books were open. Read.
And another book was opened.
Wait. The books were open and another book was open. Go ahead.
Which is the book of life.
The book of what?
Book of life.
That's the word. So I didn't just misquote the Bible. The word, the book of life, that you're going to be judged out of. Right? And what's in the book of life? We're going to get that too. Read.
And the dead were judged out of those things.
And the dead were what?
Judged out of those things.
Read.
Which were written in the books.
Which were written in the books. So you got the books. The scriptures say every idle word you say is being written down. Then you got the Bible that's going to be opened up, and they're going to be matched. Read.
According to their works.
Wait, I don't got to do no works.
According to their works.
There's no works that got to be done. I'm saved through Jesus Christ.
According to their works.
See, they don't understand. We are saved through Christ, and how we do the works of Christ. See, that's what they're not getting. Okay, go from there. Go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 20, Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 1.
2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 20.
Go ahead.
And when the world that shall begin to vanish away.
Right. Once again, why am I going here, y'all? Future prophecy. Right? Let's look into the future and see if the law is going to have any bearings on us and our salvation. Right? Because Christians tell you what? It's not going to have any bearings. You're saved without the law. Right? That's the idea. We don't need to keep the law. Okay? Read that. Come on.
Shall be finished.
Uh-huh.
Then will I show these tokens.
Right?
The books shall be opened.
Right?
Before the firmament. And they shall see all together.
Right. All these books are there. So all through the Bible it tells us that we're going to be judged from these books, from the book, from what you have done. You understand that?
God.
Okay, go to Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 1.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 1.
Stop. Somebody else get 2nd Ezra 9 and 1 and Baruch 4 and 1. Read.
God.
Hold on. Write them down. I'm going to go through them, but I want y'all to understand. The point is to show the brother if the law has any bearing on our salvation. Right? Go ahead, read.
Hear therefore, O ye kings,
Read.
and understand, learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
This is a warning to the kings then and to the kings now. Read.
Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations.
You know how it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked? This is a warning to them. Read.
For power is given you of the Lord,
Read.
and sovereignty from the highest.
Right. They were supposed to learn. that this earth was given to them by the Lord. Read.
Who shall try your works
See, who was going to judge them for their rulership. Read.
and search out your counsel?
Read.
Because being ministered of the kingdom, ye have not judged aright.
See, how though? How are they going to be judged in the future? Read.
Nor kept the law.
Nor kept what?
The law.
Wait a minute, but the law has no bearing on us. We're not going to be judged according to the law. When the books are open, it says they have not kept the law. We're going to be judged according to the law. Read.
Nor walk after the counsel of the Most High.
Read on.
Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you. For a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in the high places.
The law is an equation. Not only for the judges, we're going to go on. Not only for the kings, but all the earth. We've all sat here with this book, the book of life. And everybody's going to be judged out of this book of life. Right? 2 Ezra 9 and 1.
Second Ezra.
Or just bear with me. Baruch 4 and 1. 2 Ezra 9 and 30. Write them down. We're going to repeat them. I don't want to keep y'all here to 12 o'clock. Read.
Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou.
Go ahead. Let him read it.
Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1.
You already said that. Just read on.
He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Go ahead.
And when thou seest part of the signs pass.
Now, why did I do this way? I wanted to go to these scriptures that was going to show us future. Right? 'Cause that's what we all want, to look through the crystal ball and be able to see, well, wait a minute. Are we going to really be judged? If the law has any bearing on my salvation, he's going to tell us. These cats are slow. Slow. Read on. Come on.
Which I have told thee.
Right?
Before. Then shalt
You got to read loud over the babies. Come on.
Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world.
So, this is a prophecy when the highest will visit the world, right? And this is why I started from verse 1. Read.
Which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars.
Right, listen, let Ariel read because these babies are loud. Hey, calm those babies down, y'all. Come on. 9 and 1. 9 and 3. 2 Ezra 9 and 3.
2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 3.
Not fast, but read. Go ahead.
Come, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people.
Right. This is like Matthew the 24th chapter when Christ said the days will come to an end. Read.
In the world.
Read.
Then shalt thou well understand.
Right.
That the Most High spake of those things from the days that that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Right, so we're talking about the end again. All these scriptures is talking about the end. Read.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end.
Read.
And the end is manifest.
Read.
Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works and endings in effects and signs.
Now go ahead.
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape.
How are we going to be able to be saved and escape? By what?
By his work.
By what?
His work.
But I thought I don't need to do nothing.
By his works.
The future prophecy. So, wait a minute. Old Testament doesn't matter. He's lying right here. This is unnecessary. This whole point is unnecessary according to Christians. Like, I'm going to tell you a future prophecy, a future vision of the end time judgment day that has no bearing because Christ came and did away with the law. So this was all a lie. Their mind is madness. The Most High gave Ezra this vision to show, just like Christ came and told us, to show us how to escape the destruction. He prepared us. The word is a preparation, so we won't be caught with our pants down. We can be prepared. We have to have works. What did you do with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High? Read on.
And by faith.
And wait a minute. That goes right with James. That goes right with Paul. Faith without works is dead, right? So faith and works, read.
Whereby ye have believed.
So we gotta believe. That is right? Go ahead.
Shall be preserved.
That's what's gonna preserve us. Faith and works. Because faith without works is dead. Hold on, where's the law for? Go ahead.
From said perish.
Right.
And shall see my salvation.
Read.
In my land.
Read.
And within my borders.
Read on.
For I have sanctified them from me from the beginning.
Read.
Then shall they be in painful cause, which now have abused my way.
Wait a minute. Who's not going to be saved? The ones that what?
Abused my way.
The ones that didn't want to hear this. The ones that didn't want to follow the laws and commandments. The ones where the laws are done away with, so I can be a whoremonger, a murderer, adulterer, right? Read.
And they that have cast them away despitefully.
And that's what they do. That's what Christianity has taught our people to do. To despitefully throw the ways away of the scriptures. Read.
Shall dwell in torment.
Shall dwell in what?
Torment.
Paradise.
Torment.
Jesus loves everybody.
Torment.
All you have to do is say J-U-S-E-S-S, and guess what? You're saved.
Torment.
Go ahead.
For such as in their life
right?
have received benefits.
And you received all these benefits for what? To live after the flesh or after the spirit? Read on.
And have not known me.
Read.
And they that have loathed my law.
They have what?
Loathed my law.
Warning all these people that hate the law of the Most High. They despised it. Read.
Well, they yet had liberty.
Where they had what?
Liberty.
I'm free. I can do what I want. Yep. And you better know that what you yield yourself a servant to, that's what you be a slave to. So the law is an equation. Read.
When as yet place of repentance was open unto them.
Right now. The place of repentance is now. Right? There ain't no, I'm going to get right. Jesus is coming through the door. You know what? I submit. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I've got to get it right. People up. Too late. Read.
Understood not.
They what?
Understood not.
And that's what a lot of our people don't understand. Read.
But despised it.
But what?
But despised it.
Read.
The same.
Go ahead.
The same must know it after death.
After what?
After death.
Not only are you going to suffer now, but what?
After death.
After what?
After death.
After death. I like the remix. I like both of them. So the law is an equation in our future. That's why we strive for perfection. The spirituality of the law. Yes, we know that we can't keep every law to its best, fullest potential, but damn it, we can try. We can strive for perfection, right? We can try to get better at these things. Yes, we know that Yahweh Shai is the main key, the example, believing and walking after his example. And his example was to follow the law, right? Khan? Okay, Baruch 4:1, 2 Ezra 9-30.
Baruch chapter 4 verse 1.
Go ahead.
This is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
Go ahead.
Of the law that endureth forever.
No, the law is cut off at some time.
That endureth forever.
Well, Baruch, you didn't see past Yahweh Shai, so you're making a false statement.
The law that endureth forever.
See, that's how I be thinking about it. I be saying these ridiculous ass mentalities because that's what you're telling me when I read this. Oh, this whole verse is for nothing. He just misquoted, misstated, or see anything he said in the future was wrong. He said the law endure forever. Read.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
Go ahead.
But such as leave it.
What?
But such as leave it.
Go ahead.
Shall die.
2 Ezra 9-30, down to verse 33, down to verse 37. Ariah, get that one for me.
God.
Read.
And thou speakest, saying, Hear me, O Israel, and mark my words. Thou seed of Yaakov.
Go ahead.
For behold, I sow my law in you.
I what?
I sow my law in you.
So this is what we missed. I said it earlier, right? This is what Paul was talking about. The law was sown in us. It was always in us. It was part of us. The scriptures say it's our heritage. Right? Read.
And it shall bring fruit in you.
It was supposed to bring fruit to perfection, but didn't. It was going to bring fruit. But what happened? We fell short. Right? That's why Yahweh Shai had to come in. Go ahead.
And ye shall be honored in it forever.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We should be honored in it for what?
Forever.
Now we understand Jeremiah 31 and 31 on down. Don't get it. Just write it down. The law will be in our inward parts. The law is forever, y'all. That's like saying we're going to take out all the rules of the government and everything and everybody just freelance. What type of kingdom is that? With no laws, no rules, no governance. In the kingdom of God, no laws. That's madness. That's Greco-Roman BS to make you be faggots and lesbians and eat whatever you want and drink whatever you want and act a fool and revel and lie and be false. That's what that is. Just because he gave us grace and lightning don't strike us when we break the law, that doesn't mean the essence and righteousness of the law is not supposed to be carried out. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
Verse 32.
Go ahead.
But our fathers, which received the law,
Read.
kept it not.
Read.
And observed not.
See, that was the problem. They didn't keep it. Read.
And observed not thy ordinances.
Read.
And though the fruit of thy law.
The what?
The fruit of thy law.
See, the fruit of the law was always there. It never leaves. That's why Christ stated that before he went on his mission. Read.
Did not perish.
Read. Did not what?
Did not perish.
That sounds something like what Yahweh Shai said. It's not going to perish. Read.
Neither could it.
Neither what?
Neither could it.
It can never be diminished. It can never be taken away. The law is light. The law is wisdom. You literally are taking away everything when you take away the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
For it was done.
For it was done. Go ahead.
Yet they that received it perished.
Right. They that received it did what?
Perished.
Go ahead.
Because they kept not the thing that was sown in them.
Read on.
And lo, it is a custom when the ground hath received seed.
Right. We know that when the ground receives seed, go ahead.
Or the seed a ship.
Or a seed falls into the ship. Go ahead.
Or any vessel, meat or drink.
Read.
That being perished, wherein it was sown or cast into.
Right. You throw a ship in the sea, that seed consumes that ship. You throw the seed into the ground is consumed. It consumes the seed, right? Read.
That thing also, which was sown or cast therein.
Read.
Or received, doeth perish, and remaineth not.
Right. Go ahead.
But with us, it had not happened so.
Read.
For we that have received the law perished by sin.
Right. See, we weren't consumed with the law. We perished because we went against the law. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
And our hearts also, which deceived.
Read.
Notwithstanding the law, perisheth not.
Come on now. Are y'all listening to this? This is where you put the blade from the stomach to the neck. The law perishes not, y'all. It's not going nowhere. We're going to be judged out of this book, out of the laws and commandments. This is why we what? Strive for masteries. We strive for perfection. We strive to get better. Even like, well, you don't have to keep the Passover. Bro, we got you. You know what I mean? If people think we're saying don't keep the Sabbath. No, we're saying how to properly keep the Sabbath. We're definitely saying keep the Sabbath. Keep the laws. Well, should I get circumcised? Yeah. Don't kill yourself, but get it done. You're be under the covenant, right? This is what the Most High tells us. We got to keep the laws. Those are the things that what? Get us perfected in mind. They give you purpose, right? Go ahead.
But remaineth in his force.
Go ahead.
And when I spake these things in my heart,
Right?
I looked back with
Right.
my eyes.
So that's it on that. So we're understanding that the law is not going nowhere. Write down 2 Ezra 7, 1 to 24. Write down 2 Ezra 8, 52 to 57. Y'all got that?
One more time.
2 Ezra 7, 1 to 24. 2 Ezra 8, 52 down to verse 57. Write those down. That's a lot. You can go over that and see. Everything leads back to the law. The law. Go to Ecclesiastes 2 and 16, the quick hitters. Ecclesiastes 2, verse 15 and 16. Somebody give me Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. And I might sound like I'm going fast, but I'm not. We're going through this. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19.
Ecclesiastes 2 and 16. Read that.
Come. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed,
Read.
and they that love him are in honorable plans.
Read.
They that regard not the law are a dishonorable.
What verse are you at, Ike?
Verse 19.
What verse? What chapter? What verse?
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19.
You keep saying 10, and I said 2.
Oh.
But read the 10, because I'm there with you now. Read it again.
God, Ecclesiastes 10, 19.
Go ahead.
They that fear the Lord are a sure seed,
Go ahead.
and they that love him in honorable plans.
In an honorable plan. Read.
They that regard not the law.
They that what?
They that regard not the law.
Read.
Are a dishonorable seed.
These cats are degenerates. That's why they don't believe in the law. They're heathens. Read.
They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed.
Who you think is telling you this? The deceivable people. They'll tell you we don't got to keep the laws, but pay taxes. Think about it. Why we got to obey their laws, but don't obey our rules? Because their rules always supersede the rules of the Father. So they're a deceivable seed. We're talking about the devil, y'all. Ecclesiastes 2 and 16.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 16.
Go ahead.
They that fear the Most High will seek that which is well pleasing unto him.
Go ahead.
And they that love him.
And they that what?
Love him.
If we love God, read.
Shall be filled with the law.
Shall be what?
Be filled with the law.
But the deceivable seed, they're deceivers. They're deceivers. So that's why they're coming with this. Oh, the laws, you don't need to keep the laws. You understand that? Right. Ecclesiastes 11, 15, and 17 and 11. 11, 15, 17 and 11, and 33 and 2.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 15. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law.
Right. Wait, read it again.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law.
Go ahead.
Are of the Most High.
Are of the Lord. That's of the Most High. Why they ain't hearing it? Because they not of the Most High. Read.
Love and the way of good works.
And the way of what?
Of good works.
That's what Ezra was talking about. Go ahead.
Are from him.
Are what?
Are from him.
Man, you can't tell me the law is not needed. It's too much. Straight to the point. Judgment Day scriptures that remind you if you cast out the law, you will be cast out. Right? But now we can embody the law the proper way. Not just outwardly, outward appearance, but inward. Y'all get this? 17 and 11?
Ecclesiastes chapter 17, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Besides this, he gave them knowledge.
Read.
And the law of life for inheritance.
See, that's the problem. They want us to continually to put our heritage away and do what? I'm an American. And what do Americans do? Whatever we like, whatever we will, whatever we want. The Aleister Crowley mentality. Last one, 33 and 2.
Ecclesiastes chapter 33 verse 2.
Go ahead.
A wise man hateth not the law.
What?
A wise man hateth not the law.
A wise man hateth not the law. Come on.
But he that is a hypocrite.
But he that is a what?
Hypocrite.
Read.
Therein is as a ship in a storm.
That's why they don't want to hear the law. It's not possible. We can't do it. You ain't even tried. You ain't even tried. It ain't even all that hard. They don't even know when to try because they don't want to shut down the flesh. The flesh is telling you, you arguing over a damn pork sandwich? Or crawfish? No, I don't got, think about it. If it's not so hard, you won't give that up for Christ? What?
The law is not grievous.
The law is not grievous. The law is grievous to him that forsakes the way, though. Once again, read those ones that y'all wrote down. I told y'all. Did anybody have any questions on that? It's a lot. It's a lot. And I know, look, I went to Ecclesiastes. We didn't even go to Proverbs. We didn't even go to Psalms. Psalms 119. Come on. If I started at Psalms 119, you'd be like, what the front? David just goes through it, the law. Wherewithal shall a young man change his way by taking heed to thy commandments. Right? It goes through the law, how it's the light. So they err not knowing the scriptures. The law can never be done away with. Judgment is coming from this law. So we got to be careful. Right? All right. So any questions? Huh? One on nine. What's it? What is it? Deuteronomy 13, 1 to 11. Let's go there real quick. Deuteronomy 13, 1 to 11. Oh, Deuteronomy, okay. Go ahead and read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1.
Go ahead.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams,
right,
and giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
Right, well, this is why the Most High told us to watch the dreamer dream, right? But he's going to tell us right now. If there become a prophet among you, there's this guy going around on the internet calling himself, his name is Yah Judah. He's the incarnated Christ. Not the Christ of the Bible, by the way. This dude's a retard. That Christ of the Bible was a different Christ. He's the new Christ. If that prophet or that dreamer dreams, what?
And give thee a sign or a wonder.
So he tells you about a sign. Like, look, the end of days. This is going to happen a week from now. Right? The sun's going to be black. The earthquake is going to happen over here. Right? Go ahead.
And the sign or wonder comes to pass.
And it comes to pass. It happens. Read.
Whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods.
But hold on. It does happen. It comes to pass. See, this is what people don't understand. They're thinking like, well, why would that happen? Because witches got powers too. Demons got powers too. So a lot of people think that has to be godly because I ain't never seen you give any signs or any wonders. This brother, he said there was going to be an earthquake in Tanzania, and it happened. What prophet? Where's your power? But the problem is, he added something with it. Let's go after these different gods. And not giving praise to the Most High. Not leading you back to the Spirit, to the Word. Leading you to them. I'm God. Follow me. And that's why I brought up that cat online. You have to follow him, not the Christ of the Bible. Seriously. With those old ragtag ass crew that don't know none of the words. They don't know none of the words of the Bible. It's like, don't you know? The brother asks, don't you know you're the Christ? So I'm not the Christ. He's trying to really play reverse dumbass psychology. I'm not the Christ of the Bible. Nah, that Christ is, come on, y'all. But you're going to have these things, right? Go ahead.
Which thou hast not known.
Right?
And let us serve them.
Right? And so that's the twist. I showed you something, then I'm trying to lead you to another God. Read.
Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
Don't listen to him. Read.
Or that dreamer of dreams.
Right. So there's be a prophet or a dreamer of dreams that will have powers. So we got to be aware of that. Huh? Yeah. I haven't met the guy, but I'm looking for him. No, serious. When somebody says, look, I got power to heal, and they heal somebody, what's going to happen to your brain? I'm like, well, Bakar Kazaki ain't got no power. Shaquat ain't never hear nobody. This man healed it. But that's going to catch a lot of people. You know what I mean? Wherever the hell it is, that's going to get a lot of people. So this is that warning that doesn't alone determine if they are of the Most High. Where are they leading you to? If they're leading you to other gods, that's not of the Most High. That's not to be followed. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God.
Period. Read.
With all your heart and with all your soul.
Right.
Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments.
And keep his what?
His commandments.
See, that's why it says the law is an oracle. A lot of time, it says, and it tells you in Proverbs, the law is a tree of life. We want to look for the Stargate. The Stargate is right here. Stop searching. I'm going to go to Iraq and find out that's the Mediterranean and the Stargates that lead us to the fourth dimension. Bro, the Stargate is right here. You want everything to reach you to another plane, and it's right here. How about we reach the plane of controlling your diet? Everybody want to be so powerful like the X-Men, but you can't even control your belly. It starts there. And then as you gain that spiritual power, we can later talk about beings firing out your eyes. Right? So, hopefully that answers your question on the prophet or somebody that gives you a vision and it happens. All right, what else? That it? Okay, any other questions? What's up?
Question on a word, but it keeps evading me. It's annoying. Damn, I'm gonna have to ask you another time, man. I've been like trying to, I've been meaning to ask you for a while, and it keeps evading me.
You don't want to hug me, right? Tightly, Tightly, brother. All right, anything else? I said you had a question. You got up to tell me if you forgot the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, not anything online. Remember, y'all, it is the Shabbat. All right, let's keep that in mind. I'm going to say this and I'm going to run this to you kids. When you go home and you relax, are you putting the Most High first or are you putting yourself first? On the Sabbath, are you waking up with the Shabbat in mind? Or is it just another ordinary day to you? Yeah, we got to put these kids in check because you got to embody the moment, the mind state, the law. And if you treat the Sabbath like every other day, then you don't honor the Sabbath day, right? Go to Isaiah 58 or 5. What is that? Speak not thy own. There you go. 50. There you go, Makai. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 13.
Go ahead.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure.
Doing what?
From doing thy pleasure.
See, the Sabbath day is not about you. It's about, can you this day, what you're doing, embody the Most High? Think about the Spirit. I'm telling y'all this because what are y'all doing on your Shabbat? I know most of y'all are like, bruh, we right here in class. literally from sun up to sundown. Con. But I want to put this in remembrance to the children, to the young, that it can't be through restraint. You got to remember that it got to be about the Father. Take these moments to meditate and think on the commandments, the Word, brotherhood, unity, the love of the Most High. Y'all get this? I know this is probably going over a lot of y'all head, but the kids know that they just start moving and it's another day for them. I know parents sometimes do that too. But why do I do this after Sabbath class a lot? Because a lot of times we forget it's Shabbat. Let's keep our mind in the right place. Let's keep our spirit, our emotions in the right place. Go ahead.
On my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight.
See? No, it's a burden.
A delight. The holy of the Lord.
The what?
The holy of the
The
Lord.
holy of the Lord. Right, brothers? All right, go ahead.
Honorable.
What?
Honorable.
Go ahead.
And shall honor him.
And shall honor what?
Honor him.
This day is made for you, right? To rest from all the chaos, mind state, foolishness. Right? So you do these the whole 6 days. Do you really get to focus your mind and know what the Father wants from you? What you need to be working on in the Spirit of the Most High? That's what you got to ask yourself. So you won't walk and treat the Sabbath like church. Go ahead.
Not doing thine own ways.
What?
Not doing thine own ways.
Go ahead.
Nor finding thine own pleasure.
Read.
Nor speaking thine own word.
Read.
Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord.
Right. So just a reminder. It's about the will of the Most High. But what is that will? What are you embodying in the Spirit of the Father? Y'all get this? So whatever you do, right? You go home tonight and you relax and chill. Are you embodying the Spirit? Or is it about, I only got this little time for me, and the Most High can't be in the middle of that? He can be in the middle of that. Y'all get that? He has to be in the middle of that. Remember, all days, if you don't do that, this is exactly why you need the Sabbath. Y'all get that? So, not to say we're like Christians, the only day we write is on the Shabbat. No. What this is about is, all the other days you missed it. God darn it, could you focus one day? Right? Come? Okay, that was it. All right. If that's it, say shalom to everybody online. Shalom. Shalom. We'll see